we have another one of those shouts, please? Marlene has a master's degree in education and expressive therapies from Lesley University in Cambridge, Massachusetts. She's one of those dreadful, dreadful human beings who has decided to be a teacher. God, those people. They're the worst. She taught preschool and kindergarten and English language students for over 30 years. She currently works for the Council of Aging as a facilitator of memory care groups for seniors. She studies Italian. She bakes wicked sourdough bread. Seriously wicked. She takes Zumba classes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Marlene Joslin, and this is Be Curious and Have Fun. My life as a hell yeah teacher.
And as a lifelong teacher and learner, I've turned many pages, both literally and figuratively. And what I know for sure is we all thrive when we're learning, and learning should be fun. Why should it be fun? Because we spend 13 years plus doing it. And if it's fun, we remember it. Also, learning through play works. It takes 400 repetitions of new learning to create a new synapse in the brain, but only 20 if done through play. Next, you're going to see two little beautiful people. There they are. Those are my kids, and they're responsible for my becoming an early childhood educator. Their development was fascinating to me. Their curiosity, their sense of wonder, joy, and excitement over learning. Kids from the ages of 2 to 7 just seem to remind us to look at the world through fresh, new eyes. As they ask questions, experiment, explore, and begin to read, we want to celebrate each moment with them, nurture their interests, and find extra fun activities to further their learning in their interest areas. It's my granddaughter and her friend. At 8, my son raised $50 to adopt a humpback whale. And through the magic of a tracking device, he was able to follow the whale's migration through the ocean on an online map. When we nurture their interests, learning comes to life. My granddaughter became interested in Yetis, Bigfoot, and Loch Ness monsters through a book. Her parents actually found and took her to the Cryptozoology Museum, the only one in the world to help her explore this interest further. Now, I know cryptozoology won't ever be on a standard first grade curriculum, but isn't it wonderful to learn through topics that interest us the most? I once worked at a very authentic, child-centered preschool. There was not an ounce of pre-planned curriculum. We did home visits where we found out what the kids were most curious about, and then we built the curriculum around that. And when you do that, it gives the children ownership of their learning, and they're excited and motivated. It makes learning fun. Because it's fun to add and subtract dogs, trains, ice cream, even Yetis, and to read stories, play games, and do science experiments about them. Yes, school should be fun. As a kindergarten teacher, my most important job is to make sure kids love school. So I ask myself, how can I teach this in a fun way? How can I light their fire? That's the art of teaching. Rhyming, dancing, singing, art, drama, stories, puppets, and games bring laughter. And happy little hormones are released in us when laughter meets learning and success. Robert Fulghum saw kindergarten as a blueprint for life. He said, learn some and think some, sing, dance, play, and work some. Hold hands, stick together, and be aware of the wonder. In the summers of 2014 and 15, I taught English in China, and I loved every moment. My students were at language camp, and they expected it to be dull and boring. They were very used to traditional school, sitting and listening, and their parents were pushing them to excel and learn English. Well, we acted out stories with funny characters, lots of action, and simple dialogue. Wouldn't you rather learn vocabulary and sentence structure from silly characters than from a textbook? Even the shyest kids lit up when playing monkeys, penguins, or various animals trying to pick a giant watermelon up. We were out of our seats, expressing ourselves and laughing a lot. We had translators, but we often didn't even need them. The action and fun helped the kids understand each concept and lesson. The kids responded so well, I actually got a small write-up in the school's marketing materials. She is Marlene from the US. In her class, students are never bored. On the contrary, they are most interested and motivated. In a Sally Field kind of moment, I thought to myself, they get me! They really get me! I had another opportunity to teach overseas in Nepal in 2018. I was a volunteer English teacher in a Buddhist monastery. I taught the young monks, many of whom had been given up by their families due to extreme poverty. Here the parents knew at least their sons would be clothed, fed, and educated. Now teachers are revered in Nepal because education is really the only acceptable path to success. So they called me Madam, and they bowed formally to me and brought me tea and biscuits. But they did warm up when they saw that it was okay to laugh and have fun in my class. By the end of my time there, I had the privilege of being invited into their temple to observe their prayers and chanting. I believe strongly that all children everywhere just want to learn, play, share what they have, and connect to others. We all smile in the same language. Wherever I've traveled, kids love playing games, pretending, and acting out simple stories like Caps for Sale or Tacky the Penguin. Play and fun are universal points of connection for kids. But now I've found that kids aren't the only ones who need to keep learning and laughing. I now work for the Council on Aging as a facilitator of memory care groups. And surprise, I like it just as well as I like teaching kids. Word games, math games, trivia, music, wellness. There's laughter, exercise, camaraderie, and optimism. It seems the key to healthy aging is learning, playing, and enjoying our passions. Like Barbara, a volunteer in my class. She is 83 and a competitive ballroom dancer. Inspiring. So whether you're 5 or 85, be curious and don't ever stop learning.